Hey everybody, this is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a very special video. I'm doing the top 20 Silver Age Spider-Man covers.
For you. Bringing back memories is what we do.
As you know, Spider-Man is my favorite character. I've been following Spider-Man since I've started collecting in 1975, so this is my 51st year of loving Spider-Man. So I went through and I picked out 20 covers that I thought are the best from the Silver Age. Plus I have two honorable mentions. I always do honorable mentions, so I have two extra. So I wanted to share with you folks, and I hope you agree or disagree. Let me know in the comments what you think. But let's get started. All right, the first book is, now this isn't a comic book. This is a magazine, and it's the Spectacular Spider-Man magazine number 2 from August of 1968. It is a painted cover by John Romita, and just look at that art. It's very colorful. They have the sparkles coming out of the Green Goblin's finger. And John Romita was just a good painter as he was a pen and ink guy. So several years ago I saw this cover, the original art online without the logo, and it's just spectacular. As you can see, it's just, man, it's just great. So yeah, so that's the Spectacular Spider-Man magazine number 2 from August of 68. All right, next up we have Amazing Spider-Man number 71 from January 1969. This features the Quicksilver. You see that he's running so fast, he has like 4 or 5 images, and he's pounding Spider-Man. So this is a John Romita cover. It's on a black background. The greens just pop, and Spider-Man's there in the middle with his red and blue, and that's just a focus of your eye right there. And I just love this cover. This era of Romita, he's still kind of, learning his way, and he's getting better issue by issue. So I just love this issue. And man, a good cover shows action, and it draws you into the story. And I think this one does it too. You're like, why is Spider-Man getting pummeled by Quicksilver? So yeah, this is really a great one. I really like this one. So that's Amazing Spider-Man 71 from January of 1969. All right, next up, everybody knows this cover. This is the Amazing Spider-Man 39, which is from May of 1966. This is the unmasking of Peter Parker, and you have the meeting of Green Goblin and Spider-Man. So this is one of those iconic covers. It's just, man, just look at that. It's amazing what Romita did with just 2 figures on the screen. You have the evil Green Goblin and Spider-Man there wrapped up in a rope. This is Romita's first art on the series, and as you can see, if you go to the interior art, you can see he kind of mimics Steve Ditko, but he has his own style. So over the next several issues, he kind of morphs out of the Ditko and goes into his own style more. But this one's really great. I really enjoy this cover. I remember I had this issue back in 1980. I paid like $3 for it, and it was in great shape. I sold it, of course, and regret all that. But yeah, this is a great book. This Amazing Spider-Man number 39 from 1966. All right, next we have the Amazing Spider-Man number 4. This is the first appearance of the Sandman. This is from June of 63, and it's a 4-panel cover. It kind of shows a little story on how Spider-Man kind of meets this Sandman and sees what powers he has. It's a great cover. Steve Ditko did great on this. This is one of my all-time favorite covers. It's just, I just love it. I mean, you can see the Sandman. He's on Spider-Man. It's amazing. I just like this one very, very much. All right, so that's Amazing Spider-Man number 4 from June of 1963. All right, next up, we're just going to go to Amazing Spider-Man number 1. I mean, that's an amazing cover. You have Spider-Man by Steve Ditko. This is the first appearance of the first team up of Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four on the cover, and Spider-Man, he looks trapped, but we really know he's not, and it's just it's the first Ditko cover of Spider-Man. It's got to be in the top list. This is great, and the coloring is great. Who doesn't love this cover? It's amazing. I like it a lot, and I'm glad I recently was able to purchase one for my own personal collection. So this is Steve Ditko's first Spider-Man cover, Amazing Spider-Man 1, released in December of '62. All right, next we have, this is a great one. This is a John Romita cover, Amazing Spider-Man number 66. From August of 1968, you have The Madness of Mysterio. You have a Spider-Man swinging up to Mysterio, who just appeared, and there's all the smoke and everything. It's just great. Mysterio is one of my favorite characters. Mysterio is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, especially when he's drawn correctly with all the smoke and the flowing cape and all that good stuff. It's great. Romita really did a great job on this issue. This cover is one of my all-time favorite. I don't have a copy right now, but I've had one in the past, but I do plan on getting it again to help me complete my run. But yeah, this is a great cover. Look at that. The green just pops and Spider-Man pops. I just love it. All right, so that's Amazing Spider-Man number 66 from August of '68. All right, next. This is a very somber cover. This is Amazing Spider-Man 33 from November of '65. This is a story where Spider-Man is beaten. He's holding all the steel, and he's being crushed, and he's thinking about Uncle Ben, and he just pulls every ounce of energy he has, and he pushes all of it off of him, and that's a great story. But this cover, it's the final chapter. You pick this book up and you think, what's going on in the final chapter? Is he going to die or quit? So I've always loved this cover. It's just Spider-Man being defeated. You have to get in the book and see what really happens. But yeah, this is great. Another great Steve Ditko book. I just love this book. All right, so that's Amazing Spider-Man 33 from November of '65. All right, next up, this is a good one. This is the first appearance of Dr. Octopus. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 3, covered by Steve Ditko. And the way this is laid out, you have Doc Ock drawn in silhouette, so you don't know what he is or who he is or anything. And he's holding up Spider-Man, who's been defeated. And it says Dr. Octopus. It's like you just want to grab this book and read it from the cover. Like, who is Dr. Octopus? What is he? So this is another great Steve Ditko cover. It's laid out great, and I like the way that they did the silhouette on Doc Ock, kind of keep his identity secret. And this is a great first appearance of Dr. Octopus. You can't go wrong with this book. I love this cover. So that's Amazing Spider-Man 3 from April of '63. All right, next up we have, this is Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 5 from August of '68. This features a great John Romita cover. He's looking into this kind of hypnotic circle, and he sees all of his friends and family, and he sees this little silhouette of his parents. So this is a story about Peter's parents, what happened to him, and all that kind of good stuff. So I really just love the coloring on this cover, the green and yellows, and you have the muted blue and red of Spider-Man, and then you have the bright faces. It's just kind of a hypnotic cover. I really like it, and I don't have a copy right now, but I plan on getting a copy soon for my personal collection. So that is Amazing Spider-Man Annual 5 from August of '68. All right, next up, this is a good one. This is the great John Romita cover. This is Amazing Spider-Man 62 from April of 1968. Look at this great layout. You have Spider-Man being trapped by Medusa's hair. It's just a great layout. Romita could always draw the best women, and he always had those iconic poses. And it's on a plain background, a white background, so all the colors just pop out towards you. Oh man, that's a good one. I really need to have this in my collection. I don't have a copy anymore, so I want to try to get a high grade copy so that white is white and not kind of faded or dingy. But look at that, those colors, that orange hair and the green costume and Spider-Man. Yeah, this definitely has to be in the top list of Spider-Man Silver Age books. So next up we have Amazing Spider-Man 28. This is an all-black book, and it features the first appearance of Molten Man. So the Molten Man is kind of the lame villain. He's really not that important in the Spider-Man universe, but this cover is great. It's a Steve Ditko cover. It's all in black, and the art was drawn in white lines. So basically, Molten Man is in gold tint, and Spider-Man's costume, the red tint, is only showing, and everything else is silhouetted. So it's a great effect, and I just love this cover. It's hard to get in high grade. Any kind of black book, the slightest ding or bend will show the white through the paper. So it's really hard to find a great copy. I've had a 7.5 in the past and sold it, and I want it again. So it's going to be on my want list after I get some of these off my 2026 want list. But yeah, so this is a great book. If you ever seen this book in person, it's really amazing the way they did this effect. So that's Amazing Spider-Man 28 from June of 65. All right, next up is the early Spider-Man. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 2. It features the first appearance of the Vulture, and it's a Steve Ditko cover. And I just love it. It's just basically a background of Spider-Man and the Vulture over a cityscape. And both figures just pop. It's just the Vulture in the green costume. Your eyes are just drawn to it, and it's just great. This is the second Steve Ditko cover, and it's got to be in the top list. So yeah, I love it. I just recently got a copy, and I'm very happy with it. So this is Amazing Spider-Man number 2 from February of 1963. All right. Next up, this is a good one. This is the Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 3. This is from August of 66. You have all the Avengers in great poses drawn by John Romita and Don Heck. So you have Spider-Man punching the Hulk in the face, and you have all the Avengers running up behind it. It's just an awesome fight. It's one of those great giant-sized 72-page books. I don't have one, but I'm actively looking for a copy in high grade. And again, it's a white background, so all the colors just pop out, and your eyes are just drawn to the action. It's just one of my all-time favorites, and yeah, these early Spider-Mans are great. I just really enjoy these so much. So that's Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 3 from August of 66. All right, next up is one of my all-time favorites, is Amazing Spider-Man 56 from October of 67. That's the year I was born and the month, so this is a great book to me. This is Amazing Spider-Man 56, Spidey Joins Doc Ock. This is an awesome cover. We have a newspaper, the Daily Bugle, and you have Spider-Man and Doc Ock. They join forces, and it displays great. I just love the way Romita laid this out, and yeah, I know you guys are Doc Ock fans. He's my favorite Spider-Man villain. You guys know that if you've tuned into my channel. But this is like iconic pose, and yeah, it's just great. I just love this book. I have a copy. I think I have a 9.0 CGC graded. Yeah, I just love this. All right, you have Amazing Spider-Man 56 from October of 67. All right, next up we have, this is Amazing Spider-Man 14. This is from April of 64. This is the first appearance of the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin is a favorite of mine. He's probably the second most favorite villain after Doc Ock for me, but I just like the way Ditko drew this cover in the cave, and you have Spider-Man clinging to the top and the Green Goblin flying through there, and And at this point, Spider-Man was still being drawn by Ditko, kind of thin and skinny. Later on in the series, he kind of bulked up. I really don't care for the bulked up Ditko art, but in my mind, Spider-Man has always been kind of thin and lanky, but still strong. And this cover is drawn him that way. So yeah, this is great. I love this. The yellow just pops, and the Green Goblin, man, I love it. All right, so you have Amazing Spider-Man 14 from April of '64. All right, I'm going to save this book for last, and we're going to go to the Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1 from June of '64. This is a classic team-up of the Sinister Six. You have all of Spider-Man's greatest villains up to that time. They've all joined forces against Spider-Man. The great cover, you have Spider-Man hanging there, and all the villains are just charging toward him. You can't get better than this. I've never had a copy of this book. I do want a copy, and the layout is great. I read the book. It's a reprint of the Marvel Treasury edition #1 from 1975. I've reviewed that in one of my other videos, so I can read the book, and it has some great pinups and great stories. It's a full-length issue, and double-sized. It's great, and I just love Ditko. Yeah, this is very underrated in my opinion. So that's Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1 from June of '64. So next up is Amazing Spider-Man 50 from August of '67. This is the special first appearance of the Kingpin, and the cover shows Peter Parker walking away from being Spider-Man. You have that great layout of Spider-Man with his head turned looking towards Peter, who's walking away with his head down. It's just an iconic cover. It's been copied so many times by different artists and different books. And it's just all red. It just pops. It's just great. I think at this time Romita was really getting into his own, and the artwork showed it. But yeah, this is a great book. If you guys ever want to read a copy, it's reprinted in Marvel Tales. I'm not sure the number, so you can afford it that way. But this is a very pricey book. I think it's kind of overpriced in my opinion. But yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 50 from April of '67. It's one of the best. All right, next up we have, this is one of my favorite villains again. Amazing Spider-Man 13 from March of '64. This is the first appearance of Mysterio. So it's another all-white cover, and you have Spider-Man shooting his webs at Mysterio, and they kind of just disappear as Mysterio is standing there with the smoke coming up, and it's just a great cover, and the lettering is great. You know, you have the Mysterio, and it just pops. I just love this cover. I just recently got this issue, and I'm happy I did. I love it. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 13 from March of '64. So next up we have the Amazing Spider-Man 78 from August of '69. This is the first appearance of the Prowler. Prowler is designed by John Romita, and you have just a simple cover of Spider-Man jumping and out of the way of the Prowler, who's shooting with his little wrist weapon. And yeah, this is great. I love the Prowler. I don't know if he's in the current Marvel universe or what happened to him, but he appeared in a handful of books in the '60s and into the '70s. I always liked the design that Romita drew for the Prowler, and I just love the cover. It's just a basic Spider-Man jumping out of the way, and you get a great image of the Prowler, and it's one of my favorites. I don't have a copy of this, and I'm actively looking for a copy. So if anybody has a high-grade copy, hit me up. All right, so that's Amazing Spider-Man 78 from August of '69. So next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man 40 from June of '66. This is one of those iconic John Romita covers with Spider-Man and the Green Goblin. The Green Goblin's defeated. Spidey saves the day, and there's fire everywhere. Spider-Man's won. If you read the story, it's Norman Osborn loses his memory again. It's just a great cover. It's Romita's second cover in his run on the series, and it's just great. You can never go wrong with the Green Goblin. But yeah, this is great. Spidey saves the day. It's a great cover. So that's Amazing Spider-Man number 40, June of 66. All right, next up we have Amazing Spider-Man number 12 from February of 64. This is the great image of Dr. Octopus. He's grabbing Spider-Man and pulls his mask off, and J. Jonah Jameson and Betty Brant and everyone see that Peter Parker is really Spider-Man. I mean, if you pulled this book off the rack and saw that, you would have to buy it because you'd have to know what's going on in this story, and that's what a great cover does. It makes you want to buy the book. So you have the great yellow background, you have Doc Ock in green, and then you have the popping red and blue from Spider-Man. It's just a great issue. I don't have a copy, and I am looking for a copy. So anybody has a higher grade book, let me know. So that's Amazing Spider-Man 12 from February 1964. Hey, we're down to the last book. I think I've saved the best for last. This is the first appearance of Spider-Man anywhere. It's Amazing Fantasy 15 from June of 62. So this cover was drawn by Jack Kirby, and it just really, it's just a great issue. Now, I don't know who inked this, but later on Kirby drew Spider-Man, and they didn't really look that good, but this issue did. Maybe it was inked by Ditko. I'm not sure. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But Amazing Fantasy 15, I think it's the top book. It may not have the most action, but it's the first, and it has to be on this list. Amazing Fantasy 15 from June of 1962 is the top of the list. So, all right, so there you have it. That's my top 20 plus 2 Silver Age Spider-Man covers. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, share, subscribe, and keep checking back, and I'll have more videos for you guys. So we'll talk to you later. Bye.